victories inside Iraq as ISIS has been driven back. Atrocities on both sides by ISIS for sure, but also by Shia militia that are a considerable portion of the Iraqi government's military might. So how this plays out in Mosul is still too soon to tell.
What do you think will happen? How long will it take before Mosul falls?
Well, I think that ISIS has certainly lost a lot of territory in Iraq, but it has retreated in fairly good order. They've not been routed. They know they're being overwhelmed, not necessarily by the forces of the Iraqi government, but by American air power and by the Kurds, who are much better trained and equipped and advised by the United States than the Iraqi government forces, or certainly the Shia militia. But it's a numbers question, and the advantage of American air power is very considerable. So I think what ISIS wants to do is make the butcher's bill as high as it can be for the Kurds and the Iraqi government, which is a strategy that they've been very successful at so far. And in Mosul, where the stakes are very high, remember, this was once Iraq's second largest city, taken by ISIS 2 years ago. I think ISIS, again, very sadly, wants to make this point as bloodily as it can.
That is really just so horrible. But then they flee into Syria, and that makes that situation even worse.
Yeah, I think the destruction of ISIS in the caliphate they've declared in Syria and Iraq is a long way away. I think this has been a big mistake of American policy. I think the safety of innocents in the United States and Western Europe would have been safeguarded more if we had moved to destroy ISIS more decisively, more quickly. So the kind of slow pace of this battle in Mosul is just one more indication of the slow pace of the overall effort to destroy ISIS. I think that's going to cost us down the road.
Well, you're referring to the fact that President Obama did not heed Hillary Clinton's advice years ago to take more aggressive action and arm the rebels. She is now calling for, in Syria, for example, about a no-fly zone. But the Russian warplanes are already there. How do you have a no-fly zone when you've got Russian MiGs flying around and Vladimir Putin, pushing the buttons back in Moscow?
Yeah, I think this concept of a no-fly zone or a safe zone for the refugees is really very misguided. The only way to protect refugees is to have troops on the ground. I don't hear anybody suggesting that. And, really, I do think it's hard to distinguish what Obama's done from what Clinton has supported over the years, and ultimately their policy with respect to ISIS, as with respect to Iran and the Iranian nuclear program, really functionally the same.
And in a horrific catastrophe that is just beyond comprehension continues to plague our civilization, and that is the situation in Syria as well. Ambassador John Bolton, today from Texas, thank you for joining us, as always.
Thank you.